Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another Hero House Reviews. A very weird one today as we review the not 1000 Toys Hellboy figure. Basically, what's happened is you just can't get the Hellboy figure in England for a reasonable price. It's sold out everywhere, and if you try to import from somewhere, you're going to get hit with the 30 or beyond pound fine. Well, not fine, but again, you pay for the privilege of importing goods here if they're over a certain value. And since he's, 100 and something pounds himself, adding anything on top of that makes it completely ridiculous. But we exist in a world where knockoffs are a thing. And basically this knockoff, which is a cheaper reproduction of the figure, has come out in England at essentially the same time the original figure was released. So I don't know if they designed this concurrently, or if they somehow got their hands on a prototype and reverse engineered it from that, or I don't know how they did it so quickly. But basically, they've just reproduced, a Chinese company has reproduced their own cheaper version of the figure. But you could not tell that looking at it. When I opened, the parcel to see what I'd got, this is such a high quality box for a knockoff. I mean, that's astounding. And then you've got Hellboy on the top, the symbol there, and then what the actual figure, like the non-knockoff, looks like is printed there on the back. And then it's in sort of a protective sleeve, and as you can see, you've got a very cool, what would look like the title page of a graphic novel. And they've included the Dark Horse logo and the 1000 Toys logo, and like copyright symbols and credits and everything. And again, keep in mind, none of these people were probably involved in making this particular figure. You've got the symbol of the BRPD, and then we've got the figure itself inside the plastic box, and that's a 5 out of 5 packaging. I mean, I don't support knockoffs. This is the first I've ever bought, and I only bought it because I just could not get this figure in England. And I was just so enraptured by the concept because I've seen pictures of it, and it looks like such a solid figure for literally a fifth of the price. So, as you can see, he's got a ton of accessories in there, and they're all packaged quite neatly. I think I can see his extra set of horns is loose, but otherwise it's all in there. It's all nice and snug. And, funnily enough, if you get this knockoff version, it comes with, like, some extras that you could only get as a special pre-order from Dark Horse's website, I think. Like, he comes with a sword and an extra set of horns, which you didn't get with the £100 figure. So, somehow, they have been more inclusive than the actual production, which just blows my mind. And if this figure doesn't crumble in my hands, it's going to be hard to justify the cost that they're charging for the actual Hellboy. Maybe it is amazing enough to justify £100, but will it be more amazing than this? I'll get this bad boy open, and we will find out. One moment. Alright, and here we are, and as you can see, out of the box, he's still a pretty amazing figure for what you pay and what he is. I mean, the sculpt looks great. It may not be as exact and precise and as neat as the 1000 Toys itself, but it's still really good. I mean, his cross is still looped through a fairly detailed belt. They've got the horseshoe on there, the cross hanging. He's a bit short in the leg. I think that is where the other figure has him beat. It's taller, though not by much. His hand, right hand of doom, is articulated in every finger, and they've sculpted cracks into it. It just looks great. His face is so good. Yeah, he's wearing a like cloth material trench coat that looks quite good and has wire inside it, so you can pose it sort of flapping in the breeze behind him if you want. Which again, for a knockoff figure, is insanely detailed. The only great flaw I've found so far is he's meant to come with, well, he does come with, a holster for the gun. Now, the holster, again, looks really nice, but it doesn't peg into the hole on his belt. The sizing hasn't been done right there. Fixable, but, you know, still not great. And then the gun looks good. The gun looks very good. His arms are a little long, so I think maybe that's another flaw of the sculpt. And articulation-wise, he doesn't have ab crunch. If you try and bend him forwards or backwards, you sort of expose... I don't know. Well, anyway, when I was trying earlier, it sort of exposed him and kind of made him fall off a bit in the middle, but he's good. He's sturdy. The trench coat is a nice bit of work. They've even sewn the symbol of the BRPD on his, on his trench coat. For, a cheap rip-off version of the figure, they've done a phenomenal job. I mean, he comes with a second head, a calmer face. That too looks good, looks great. You can see the hole because the horns come out of both and can be replaced with... Hold on, I haven't taken them out of the plastic wrapper. Oh, but this one has fallen out. Longer horns, so you can have him in, his sort of Amun-Ra? No, I don't think it's Amun-Ra. His, apocalypse state, basically, his full power. So, that's amazing, and that's in really firmly. The sword, I believe it's Excalibur that he comes with, that you wouldn't get if you ordered the basic 100-pound figure, looks really good. Plastic's got a bit of glow there, I might take it out. Oh no. As you can see, that is detailed. That is nice. That is well done. And again, you don't get it. Look at the hilt. Or the pommel of the sword. It's so detailed. You wouldn't get it if you got the 100-pound one. And I'm just really struggling to understand why that one is priced so far above this one. Because, okay, I don't have it, but I cannot see an 80-pound difference here. Like, if you're not in England, 80 pounds translates to like 100 American dollars or like 160 Australian dollars. So it just blows my mind that this is a thing. Like, I don't support knockoffs. I believe, you shouldn't be selling fake goods to people. But at the same time, if a company can do this and sell it at the price it does, what does that speak of to the actual figures, and are we being overcharged on that front? I don't know. These are the big questions, and I, as a humble toy reviewer, maybe shouldn't be asking them, but where does this sit with you, the viewer? Do you think, knockoffs in general are just a terrible thing, or should we be asking, if we can get this level of quality for this price point, where is that extra money going? Where is the difference? And is it enough to justify it? No. Anyway, that's my little rant done. But my god, that is just so good. And the box he came in, people. The box was a work of art in and of itself. And he is a work of art in and of himself. I paid a Marvel Legends price for a dude with like a sewn trench coat with wire in it, a fully articulated Hand of Doom, a shit ton of accessories. He's well balanced as well. He's also standing on a shitty piece of cardboard, and he's maintained his balance. He's a cheap knockoff that stands better than many official figures, and looks better than many official figures. And yeah, he's short, but from what I understand, it's less than an inch difference, which means that the scale of the other figure is off as well. And you're paying 100 and, whatever pounds for it, so I don't think I should give a knockoff a 5 out of 5 on principle. But then, as an individual and looking at this as a figure in my collection, this is something I paid a very reasonable price for, and it is blowing me away with the quality I have gotten for the price. Yes, it is not the real product, but the product in and of itself, which is what I judged Astro on. In fact, I try and judge most things as what they are. This is a 5 out of 5. I put in a certain amount of money, and what I got for that amount of money is blowing me away. It isn't cemented as the actual product, and I may be judged for giving it such a high-ranking thing and even indulging in purchasing it. But you know, capitalism often doesn't look out for the individual. In fact, it often doesn't look out for the society, or at least it hasn't in the Western world looked out for society in several ways. So I'm going to say 5 out of 5 for this. I'm not going to say skip out on the 1,000 Toys one if you can get it and have the money for it, and it is available in the country which you inhabit. But I will say, if you love Hellboy and, you know, can't afford the figure, but want one on your wall, these knockoffs are a great way to do it. Just make sure you put some money towards buying the graphic novels, or, you know, actual official Hellboy merchandise, just so the property that you love can continue to thrive. Yeah, that's an important message to keep. I mean, if we all only buy knockoffs, then none of the money is going to the actual producer or the licenses. In which case, the things we love being made into figures will no longer be made into figures. So, I'm not condoning knockoffs on that front, but I'm just saying, if you support Hellboy normally, but the figure from 1,000 Toys is just a bit out of your price range, go with a knockoff, and then go and buy some graphic novels. 5 out of 5. Thank you for your time. I'll show you some pictures, and then we'll wrap this up. Alright, and there you have it everyone, the knockoff 1,000 Toys Hellboy. A ludicrously impressive knockoff at a great price, with great articulation, fantastic accessories, amazing sculpt. Can't really criticize it for what it is. So yeah, gonna tentatively give this knockoff a 5 out of 5. If you don't want the super expensive one, pick it up. Support Hellboy though. Support the actual brand. But yeah, you know, if you can't splurge $200+, this is the one for you. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more, we have plenty more reviews and we'll have more coming. And if you'd like to see something a bit different, head on over to the other side of the channel. It's called Hero House. It is a good time, and you can see the action figures in action. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again. Bye.